Good evening, everyone, and welcome to week 4. This is going to be the review of some of the grading issues that I found for week 3, as well as an overview of what to expect for week 4. This is our last week. Some of you doing really strong, and others are struggling a little bit. Basically because nobody's doing the discussion posts, or not nobody, but there are a few of you who aren't completing this discussion post, which is really bringing down your grade. Some of you are not completing your quizzes, which is also bringing down your grade. But there are those who are doing very well, who are participating and completing their assignments. So, and again, I am willing to work with anyone, but the communication lines have got to be open. You have to contact me, let me know what's going on so that I can work with you. However, those of you who have not completed anything, we're in week 4 now, so getting caught up is almost virtually impossible. But if you'd like to give me a call, we'll see what we can do, see how we can work on it, and then move forward from there. Tonight you have a clinical orientation at 7 p.m. So I have originally we were going to do the Kaiser Live on this evening, but I've moved that to tomorrow, Wednesday, April 24th at 7 p.m. So that'll be our last Kaiser Live for this course. There's also an opportunity to participate in Kaiser Research, so you might want to look at that. I don't know if any of you have been here over a year. And let's see. Alright, so for week 3, you had discussion questions this week, and the problems we had with discussion was, again, spelling. I've given you the tools through the tutorial video on how to write your discussion post in Word, conduct a spelling grammar check. Again, it doesn't catch everything, but it catches the majority of it and saves you some points. And it also teaches you how to spell and write better. The other thing that I had was that everyone seems to be using this reference, DeVore, the electronic health record for Physician's Office, St. Louis, Missouri. This is just an example. See, it says, for example. That is not, I repeat, that is not the reference for your textbook. So if you use this reference next week, I will not accept it as a reference, so it'll be as if you didn't give me a reference. Now, if you go into Program Resources under APA and look at References and Citations, go to slide 6. This is slide 6. It shows you how to, again, this is not the reference for the textbook. It shows you how to format the reference for 2 authors, which our textbook does have. So if you look at the authors of the book, you can figure out how to do this. The publishing date is on the inside of the cover. The title of the textbook, and only the first word is capitalized, the rest are not. And then where it was published and by whom. And then your citation, many of you are not doing citations. This is how you cite your work. So anytime you utilize anything from the textbook to make your point within your writing, you need to be able to give the authors, Mitchell and Heron, credit for their contribution to giving you this information. You're utilizing their information. So cite them and then reference them. And this is also going to come into play for week 4 because you do have another formal written paper, so make sure that we get this down. But if you're using DeVore 2015, the electronic health record, I will not accept that as a reference as of next week. The other problem is people are not completely answering the questions. Again, make sure that you're reading these questions thoroughly, understanding what they're asking of you, and making sure that you're providing all the information that they are asking of you. And if you're not, I will respond to you and I will ask you to go back to the chapter, and I'll redirect you to the area you need to be to answer the question correctly so that you don't lose points. But many people aren't even taking the time to read my post or respond to my post, so therefore they're losing points because they didn't completely answer the question. I realize you have a lot to do. However, this is going. You're going to your university now, and if it were easy, everybody would have a degree. So it will be worth your while to put in the effort and just read my post. Go back. If you're still having problems, contact me, and I'll try to help you even further. Not enough posts. The assignment calls for at least 4 separate posts on 3 separate days. I'm getting 1 post on one day. I might be getting 2 posts on the same day or 2 posts on 2 days, but I'm not getting the 4 separate posts. Or some of you are doing 4 separate posts all on one day. You have to follow the instructions that it's 4 posts on 3 separate days. Okay. And then the OSHA assignment, everybody did pretty well on that who completed it. Again, there were some people who did not complete the OSHA assignment. You will not pass the class if you did not. You have to score at least a 70% on that OSHA assignment to pass the class. And everybody who did take it did score above 70%. In fact, everybody got A's and B's, so that's great. The quiz, everyone did well. Again, A's and B's. And then let's go ahead and move on to week 4 now. Okay, so week 4, your assignment is that you read chapters 15, 16, and 23. 15 is the patient as the individual. So we'll be talking about cultural differences and how to treat each patient as an individual. We'll also be talking about the communication process. As I've told you, that's one of my favorite subjects because I think it's the crux of all the problems that are out there. And then performance improvement and customer service. So we'll be going over that. And there are some discussion questions on performance improvement and customer service, as well as the patient as an individual for your discussion. So let's get into that real quick. Alright, so if you scroll down to week 4, last week of the course, so they want you to review pages 335 through 336, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. According to our text, what are the 5 levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? So identify what Maslow says the hierarchy of needs are. Then in your own words, list the order of the needs that means the most to you, starting from the most important to the least important, and list examples of why you chose this order for yourself. So what they're asking you to do is, based on your experience in your life, how would you say that the needs that Maslow has identified would rank in your life right now? And then explain why. So not a hard assignment because this is about you and there's no right or wrong answer. I may challenge you and say, okay, so why did you do that? Just so you can explain it a little bit farther, but no right or wrong answer. And then the second question of the week is to review pages 515 through 517, customer service, internal and external customers. So what the discussion is this week is for you to identify what an internal and external customer is and what that means in healthcare. List several components that are used to determine the quality of care. That will be within your reading and the presentation from Kaiser Live. And then what are the some aspects of quality improvement management? Now, the 2 things that I'm going to be looking for in this answer for quality improvement management, the 2 things, what are some aspects? I'm going to be looking for more, but the 2 main things is that for quality improvement, you must have an increase in quality and you must have a decrease in cost, or at least maintain the cost. So you want the best quality service or good in the healthcare facility. at the least amount of cost. So that's what I'm looking for on that. Okay, you also have your final exam. You have a written assignment this week, and what they want you to do is review the Thinking It Through green box, which can be found in your text, page 520, and reflect on the scenario and identify your feelings regarding its content. Now, after you review the scenario, answer the 4 questions listed that's underneath the scenario on page 520. Use the material that you've learned from your reading this week, but also think outside the box. So you can tell me, I do need to see something from your reading reference, but then tell me what else the manager can do in this situation. I suggest writing 1 short paragraph for each of the 4 questions that have been asked of you. Again, this is a formal paper, so I encourage APA format, meaning a separate title page. No abstract is needed. I need in-text citations within the body of your paper, and I need a separate reference page. At minimum, it should be your textbook being cited and referenced. Also, it should be Times New Roman, 12 pitch, double spaced, and at least 250 words. And the rubric that I will be grading on for this, just so you know how you will be graded for this assignment, it's pretty much like the first one. Now, the difference between this writing assignment and week 1 is that you do not have to submit it to the OWL. So, no problem there. Now, if you want to submit it to the OWL, please do. I mean, they will review it just like they did the week 1. And when you get it back, you can incorporate the changes and make your writing better. And it also takes out of some of the problems that you might experience with the grading had you not submitted it. If you do, please forward the email like we did last time to me so that I know that you did submit it. Here is the rubric for this. If you're for formatting, did you have at least 250 words? Did you answer each question thoroughly? So the student answered at least 4 of the questions listed after the Thinking It Through exercise, and it was referencing the textbook material. Spelling and grammar, there's 10 points. Student submission was free of spelling, grammatical, and punctuation errors. And then APA guidelines, did you submit a separate title page? Was there a separate reference page? And was there corresponding in-text citations? And again, I don't need an abstract on this. So that's how you're going to be graded on that. You also have a final exam and your post-test. The post-test is a graded assignment, so I do expect everyone to take that. And everything is due by Sunday, as usual, by 11:59. And after you get this in, you have a week off for spring break, and we go forward from there. All right. Have a good week. Thank you.